Excellent work. You men have achieved victory and struck a major blow to the Red Star war machine. No more tanks from these production lines will kill Coalition soldiers ever again. You're saving lives down the line.
Loadout, lads.
Ah, boy, here we go.
Yeah, okay, so today we're quite possibly covering one of the most polarizing and jank first-person shooter games I've played to date. You ever wanted a game with an identity crisis? One where you have to play like a one-man army, a la via Call of Duty, but die so fast you can't react in time to being shot at, like a tactical shooter via Tom Clancy? One with such a retarded plot you think it was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson or Michael Bay? How about Gunplay So Foul it takes the worst aspect of Counter-Strike and combines it with Stormtrooper accuracy, but gives the enemy AI aimbotting capabilities? Well, if you said yes to any of that, I only have two words for you.
Fuck you! I ain't having that shit!
Welcome to Frontlines Fuel of War, a first-person shooter developed by Kaus and published by THQ in the year 2007 exclusively for Xbox 360 and PC. A game where you play as an elite soldier fighting in what becomes World War III and must take on Russian forces utilizing various weapons and technological gadgets. Sounds good, right? Yeah, so the plot of Frontlines Fuel of War is the world relied on oil for too long, and it started to become more rare, eventually leading to global tensions and skyrocketing prices. People lined up for gas for miles at every station. There were blackouts constantly alongside an epidemic that killed many due to the lack of vaccines.
I ain't even going near that.
Eventually, every nation joined an alliance, creating the red versus blue scenario of NATO versus Russia, China, and their allies, with conflict erupting in the Middle East before it leads to Moscow itself, as you only sadly ever fight Russia in this game. Control-wise, this game is just fine. I didn't need to remap any keys, unlike when I tried to play Rainbow Six and SWAT 3 before giving up because those games suck and haven't stood the test of time, on top of not really working on Windows 11 in the fucking first place. So yeah, you ever played an FPS around 2007? Then you know what does what. WSD to move, mouse to aim, left mouse button to shoot, right mouse button to alt fire or iron sights, but for some reason, not all weapons have iron sights.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, guns don't always let you zoom in for better accuracy, but more on guns next. The movement is actually not that bad, but you'll get stuck on various objects in the world, so it's not really that smooth jumping and sprinting through gunfire. You also use the mouse scroll to select weapons, which becomes tedious because you're under fire and you need a certain weapon. You'll have to slowly scroll through each one and wait for your character to pull out that weapon before switching to the next one in hopes to finally get into the weapon that you want.
Shit the fuck!
Later on, I realized you can also use the number keys, but by default, the game just says use the mouse scroll. You can also press and hold Q to swap between weapons via a wheel, but yeah, overall the game controls kind of alright, but also kind of jank at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like going back to the OG Modern Warfare. Sure, it pushed the FPS genre, but by today's standards, it's kind of jank.
Repositioning!
Build in the sentry.
Good work, men.
As for how the combat plays, well, you ever play Battlefield 2? Yeah, it wasn't that good of a game. Not only did it always have always online DRM, locking majority of content behind multiplayer and DRM, but the movement and gunplay was so atrocious. How do you make a gameplay worse than Battlefront? That game hasn't aged all that well either. In fact, I went back and played Battlefront 2 recently, and it really sucked. Most of the weapons are terrible and inaccurate, plus you die way too fast in comparison to the enemy who can survive shotgun blasts up close, but you die from 2 pistol shots across the map. Speaking of shitty gunplay...
Right? I know.
I'm taking you down, plastic boy! Think that armor's gonna help?
Yeah, all weapons in this game basically suck. Your standard rifle you'll always be using for majority of the game doesn't actually have that good of accuracy. Frontlines wanted to be realistic while playing like Modern Warfare 2, so enjoy getting shot up by aimbotting AI while most of your shots fly off into distance like you're a stormtrooper, or you're just playing Counter-Strike. But hey, if you think, okay, I'll just rely on the pistol, well don't. Just don't. Okay, well, you can also use an SMG, which is just a weaker, more inaccurate rifle with a suppressor that doesn't actually make a difference because there's no actual stealth in this game. Despite one portion of the game, you gotta stealth kill dozens of enemies all on your own with a giant rifle that doesn't come with a silencer.
Confirmed contact with enemy units. Terminate at your discretion.
Well, watch this.
You can also use an LMG, but unlike in other FPS games where that's a satisfyingly powerful gun that goes brrr, in Frontlines, it's the polar opposite.
Like, that is it. Like, it's...
Damn, okay, so there's not a single good gun in this game then, right? Well, basically yes, I cannot find joy in using any weapon within Frontlines due to them being inaccurate as all hell. Even if you crouch, stand still, or go prone, it's still all over the place. However, I did enjoy one segment of the game where you hold out in a small town against waves of enemies. Sniping people was fun here because I could stay still from the rooftop and... So now you'll be asking if this is trying to be like Battlefield with different weapons and capturing points. Then maybe that also means you have different loadouts, right? Well, yes you do, except you're stuck with the assault kit by default and must die or kill yourself to switch to one of the others via deployment, and not all kits are available in every mission. Yeah, if you need an explosive weapon, such as a rocket launcher or mines or anything, or a sniper rifle, you have to off yourself first, or hope to God there's one lying around in the map where you're located, which isn't always the case. And yes, you can also carry several weapons like a rifle, sniper rifle, and a rocket launcher, a pistol, grenades, and even gadgets like RC helicopters and motor bots and shit without issue, making me wonder, why is there even an option to deploy with different kits when you die?
It just makes no sense.
And yes, there's plenty of times in game where you'll need certain weapons but must give up a life to do so. Also, you only get a few lives per mission, roughly around 5 total. So, if you need an anti-armor weapon in order to proceed through the game, you gotta lose a life to get it, redeploy and attack the armored vehicle to only now get pinned down by several machine gunners, snipers, and shotgunners. So you gotta off yourself again to get a sniper rifle or an assault rifle. Yeah, it's a mess of a game that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Guys, what kind of logic is that?
Another thing besides the gunplay being awful is the fact you die way too fast. Yep, it's one of those kind of games. Oh, but don't worry, as to be expected, the enemies are spongy in turn and take several shots to down. Even with a shotgun, you'll mag dump it into a single enemy and they'll still be standing. Now, I've played this game on normal. Yeah, normal. Can't imagine how much worse it is playing on hard. You're always diving for cover after getting shot as to not die, but the enemy can shoot through objects to hit you, yet in turn you can't do that to them. Even the shielded turrets don't work in your favor. What's the point of a shield if it's not going to protect you and only the enemy? What kind of bullshit game design logic is that? You'll utilize various gadgets as you play the game, from demo charges to full-on robotic vehicles like RC helicopters that explode as if your kid's Christmas present came from Pakistan. Or even using robots with Gatling guns or rockets. These things suck though control-wise, namely the RC helicopter, but that little missile bot, man, does it lack range with a very sharp decline in bullet drop. Plus, these things have wonky physics causing them to spin out and blow themselves up.
Next objective.
On top of all that BS, you also must complete objectives in a specific manner. Despite the fact Frontlines presents itself as an open-ended experience where you can tackle things how you want, when you want, that's not actually the case at all. It's an illusion. For example, you must blow up anti-air placements, but you cannot just blow it up. Oh, no. You gotta do it in a specific manner.
Stay low. Get to cover now. Move. Let's go.
coast.
Oh, really?
You also cannot just be within a vicinity of the area you must take over, as there's locations in every mission you must capture akin to Battlefield, but unlike Battlefield, these locations are so tiny that you gotta stand out in the open to capture them, giving enemies an easy target. Why are you like this, Frontlines? Why can't I take cover and capture points at the same time? Why are you being so retarded with your design? Hey developer Kaus, can you comment on that one? Missions also take forever despite the game being short. There's only 8 missions total, though. It doesn't feel like it, yet it also feels like it's short while taking forever.
I'm sorry. What the f?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words just how it feels to play this game. I've sunken in over 3 hours of my life into it, yet it doesn't feel like it, but also feels like way more at the same time. You understand what I mean?
No.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a polarizing experience. Anyways, missions take roughly 15 minutes a pop, or even 40 if you're not so lucky. Honestly though, most of my time playing Frontlines was frustration, dying behind cover, trying to time my shots like it's Counter-Strike while enemies aimbot me across the map with SMGs and shotguns, and wanting to just quit altogether and question my life choices. But hey, someone had to speak up about how mediocre this game is, despite YouTube ensuring most of my videos never get viewed since I broke the algorithm with my Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen review back in March 2024, where it got hundreds of views in less than a few hours, so YouTube nuked it, and ever since, I've barely gotten any views. They won't let me leave the Shadow Realm. I'm stuck here with Jimbo.
Get over here!
Your objectives in every mission are just the same exact thing. Blow shit up, capture shit, and defend shit for a set shit amount of time. There's no shit variety, and it gets old after a while. In fact, by the time I got to mission 3, I wanted to quit, but I persevered for your sake.
Very nice. Thank you for the sacrifice.
What doesn't help is your allies are entirely useless. Most of the time they just stand around while you do all the work. Other times they fire blindly at nothing while you attempt to push towards the objective. Oh, what fun I'm having playing a game where friendly soldiers do nothing in a war while I complete every little thing.
Get your asses the hell out of there!
Anyways, you do get a tank mission. But don't go thinking it's a next generation Battle Tanks Global Assault by 3DO. Instead, it's more like a sluggish, clunky Temu mobile knockoff of World of Tanks. It's just boring as tanks take forever to reload and even repair themselves. But of course, you blow up just as fast as you die on foot. Go fucking figure.
What?
The tank mission really pushes the bullshit meter to a whole other level too. You go to a battlefield where Russia just nukes the entire thing, obliterating entire divisions of tanks. But you're safe inside yours, and the radiation cannot hurt you, so stay inside of it and fight waves of enemy Russian tanks, so that way over time the radiation clears itself up so you can get on foot and continue the mission. What the fuck kind of bullshit and logic is that? Did Bethesda make this? There's a variety of vehicles, but they all just suck, like the weapons you use. You got a tank that sucks, a tank that sucks, a Humvee that sucks, and you gotta be out in the turret while driving the damn thing, so get ready to die fast as the enemies just pelt you from above. But hey, at least there's one mission in the entire game, one single godforsaken mission, you get to use a single helicopter. Now how do you think this goes as well?
Man, we're going to try and establish air superiority. Launching attack shot. Roger that. Armored combat vehicles are also at your disposal. Proceed with your assault. Artillery, spread out. Sir, Antonio, got level force. Ready to go, Donna. Roger that. You'll need to get behind those walls and take it out. Enemy armor.
Well, that was a load of shit.
So the helicopter controls like shit, all vehicles control like shit, the gunplay is shit. But you wanna know what's another major glaring issue with Frontlines? Is the fact enemies respawn non-stop as you attempt to complete objectives. Every time one dies, 2 more spawn in its place. I'm not kidding, I swear. I have to clear an area, move into it, capture the point, and enemies just keep swarming the area. Hell, there's times where you'll be taking cover and enemies will spawn in right behind you. Just what the fuckity fucking fuck is going on here? Oh, and the game ends on a cliffhanger. You defeat Russia, and China moves in, but credits roll immediately because Kaus thought this was going to be a franchise. Oh, what great logic there, Kaus. Hey, how well did that work out for you guys again?
To start fresh. I hope I'm there to see that. I really do.
So you got 8 missions in single player for about $5 when this game is on sale, or $20 by the default price, which lasts about 3 to 5 hours give or take. So what else is there to justify this game's cost? Well, there's a multiplayer mode which is long since dead because of Games for Windows Live DRM. They patched it out but took away the multiplayer in turn. There's no Steamworks support, unlike some other games used to keep multiplayer around. Yeah, Steamworks is Valve's own online DRM to keep multiplayer alive in games. Sadly, too many developers don't use it, or Valve refuses to allow them to, or a mixture of both. Which sucks cause much like Homefront's multiplayer, I kind of wanted to see what it was like. Were the maps larger? Was there more chaos, explosions, and bodies flying around? Was there more destruction of buildings? Were there better guns there? Were you able to actually use the enemy's guns in the multiplayer mode? The world will never know anymore. So let's just wrap this one up because there's not much else to say. So time for the PC port report.
That was what I was thinking of.
The PC port is dog shit. It doesn't work right out of the box. I had to spend an hour trying to fix the bloody audio alone. Yeah, I had to rack up playtime to fix the audio alone. At first, nothing worked, so I figured, okay, I'll just go into the options and see if it's all turned off by default. Sometimes that happens, or it's so low that you can't really hear it. Been there before, right? Well, not this time. Instead, everything is maxed out.
Turn it up! Turn it up!
So I had to look it up, and of course Google is useless sending me to Reddit posts about how much of a Nazi Trump and Asmongold are, while women are bragging about having sex with dogs, and that they're better than men, and complaining about how America needs to be socialist, and deaf to the patriarchy, and all that bullshit you get from Reddit posts. But hey, what else is new when it comes to Reddit?
I don't like where this is going.
So I tried a solution found on the Steam forums, which have their own fair share of issues, but still, I opened up a config file within my documents to alter the max channels from 128 to 32 in Notepad, yet that didn't work either. The next solution is to install OpenAL within the game files, and that also didn't work. So after a while, I eventually found another solution.
What? Tell us!
I had to download a DLL file from a PC gaming wiki for OpenAL, because apparently it doesn't install properly on modern systems. So I put the DLL file into the binaries folder of the game, and it worked. I finally got the audio to work. I just needed a DLL file. After all that time, I just needed a fucking DLL file. Yay! Otherwise, you get plenty of options for key rebinding and even graphical options. By default, it launches in 4:3 aspect ratio, though in the game's options, you can actually select 16:10 or 16:9 with up to 1080p resolution, so there's a huge plus. Honestly, any game released on PC after 2005 should support 16:9 at the least. I can't stand the 4:3 narrow view of old. It really gets in the way of playing games anymore. My eyes are not located in a crocodile's nose, so I cannot see it proper without widescreen support, but whatever. Let's move on to the score and be done with this game.
It's over!
At the end of the day, Frontlines Fuel of War is a mediocre game I can barely recommend. Somehow they made a worse game than Homefront. It wants to be Call of Duty and Battlefield at the same time, yet having the weapons of Counter-Strike and the accuracy of a Stormtrooper, all the while you die fast as if you're playing a tactical shooter, but must play the game like a one-man army akin to Call of Motherfucking Duty. Yeah, it's a game with a massive identity crisis. The developer couldn't have bothered to stick to one thing and just threw shit at the wall. Despite nothing sticking to it, they still went along with every idea. Reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2, another game that sucks because it can't decide upon what it wants to be, and you have to fight the terrible controls and mechanics 24/7. Yeah, I don't like Red Dead Redemption 2, cry harder. I just cannot really think of many positives for this game. Sure, it's playable on modern hardware so long as you get a DLL file from a random website and hope you don't get you don't fuck up your computer in the process of a freaking virus or some shit. But other than that, I didn't really get my $5 worth of content out of these 3 to 5 hour long game. Honestly, I had more fun with Homefront, and that's a game we'll be reviewing soon enough.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Frontlines has some moments like holding out against waves of enemies in town. I did enjoy the shotgun despite it sucking, cause close quarter ass blasting will never get old. The credit song was 2000 as fuck. The game ran without performance problems. It never once crashed, though there was graphical issues in the final mission once you get to the rooftops with lighting flickering and models popping in and out of view. Overall, just a mediocre game that you could probably find some joy in, but you can also live without ever playing it. It's not a hidden gem, it's not a cult classic, it's just forgettable mediocrity that died off because it offered nothing in comparison to other FPS games at the time. THQ wanted a Battlefield killer that didn't do anything but bring them closer to bankruptcy, which would conclude after Homefront. Oh yeah, it's coming. Like death. Homefront is coming, and you can't stop it.
Man, that is dark.
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.